This is Almost Expert Wrestling. I'm Joe, once again with Kyle. And today, we're talking about, it's been a while since our last video. Today we're talking about the Wyatt family, our overall thoughts on how they've been being used of late. We will get many more things involving that. And then later in the video, we will be talking about Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt's real-life brother. So we decided to throw him in there. We're going to be arguing about Bo Dallas. So it'll be much like our Paul Heyman argument. I don't know if it'll live up to the expectations of that, but we're going to be arguing about Bo Dallas later, and of course, so let's get right to it. And of course, we're going to start out with the Wyatt family. I mean, of late they have not been being used too well. I think that's very obvious. But I will hand it over to Kyle. What are your thoughts on how the whole Wyatt family has been being used of late?
Alrighty, what is up? We got the Wyatt family, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and of course its so-called leader, Bray Wyatt. This stable got a big push. They debuted around SummerSlam 2013, started off, got beat Kane, Bray Wyatt in singles competition, and they kind of put them on the map as, this is a really good team, be prepared for all this crazy stuff, because their gimmicks are all crazy and whatever. Then, of course, they continued to garner one of the biggest pushes in WWE. They didn't get any championship thing, but they were considered the top stable along with Shield last year. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper have adapted themselves, or kind of shown themselves more as a tag team and separating from Bray Wyatt. But overall, this whole group has really been there and have had great matches. Bray Wyatt worked with John Cena,
Yeah.
one of the best, or the best in the company. So there you go. And Bray Wyatt overall got that big push. He didn't win against Cena or nothing, but it was big. And along with that, Wyatt has feuded with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Cena. Don't forget about like I said, Kane, and So they've had some big matches. I think Bray Wyatt has defeated Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, in which I have so far called the best 2014 match of so far, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. That's in my opinion. Well, that's another video, but that's definitely what who I think has had the best match so far, Wyatt Bryan. But overall, Bray Wyatt had that big feud with John Cena, and then ever since then, we talk about now, is Bray Wyatt being buried, and somewhat some people are calling it, because he hasn't really had that great feud. I mean, the Jericho thing, if you look at it, really isn't working that good. I mean, they've had a couple good matches. They had a decent bout at Battleground. I mean, it was a lot better at SummerSlam because Wyatt won the match, so that was good for Wyatt. But overall, we look at it and we say, it's Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, who they were before. I mean, I like them. I really do. I think that I'm a huge Luke Harper fan. I feel like Luke Harper is going to have the best singles career. Then, of course, you got Eric Rowan, who's awesome, who's terrific. And right now, them two, they're having a pretty good feud with Big Show and Mark Henry. I'm excited about all that, but I just feel like the Wyatt family are starting to lose a lot more often. I mean, with the exception, I guess, Bray Wyatt, he did beat Jericho, but other than that, this past Monday on Raw, of course, this is when the video is being taped, but this past Monday on Raw, Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family all got, destroyed at the hands of John Cena. I guess maybe that's making them look good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's making them look good, but I think it's saying, look at John Cena, he's beating all these guys, and they're supposed to be strong, so it makes Cena look strong for beating these guys, but it's just a shame that they're the ones used. But nonetheless, I don't think that their push or nothing's over. I feel like it may be time for them to split up soon, because I really feel like that Luke Harper deserves to be champion in the future. I don't know about Bray Wyatt, I don't know about Eric Rowan, but I do know that I am 100% with Luke Harper being a champion in the future. But maybe they'll have to win the tag titles eventually because, I mean, they're long overdue. Everybody thought they would be the champions at Money in the Bank. Everybody, predicted that Money in the Bank would be their championship win, and they didn't end up winning. They did have a phenomenal 2 out of 3 falls match against the Usos, but they just didn't win it. And I don't even think they had the match at Battleground. So, well, I don't know. I don't know when the last time they got a championship match. Money in the Bank and Battleground, I think I think Battleground they had the 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah. But not in that SummerSlam. So I mean, whenever you're left off the SummerSlam card, it's not gonna, you're struggling a little bit. But they should be tag champions soon. If not, split them up, or I don't know. I just feel like something needs to happen. Here. I mean, where do they go from now? You look at it, is the Jericho Wyatt thing over? Are the Wyatt family going to get back in the picture? I don't know. I mean, they've been feuding with Big Show and Mark Henry, but I don't know. They just keep losing. I don't know. It's not over a championship. It's pretty interesting. But I've been talking for a long time now. Let me get it over to you, Joe. Thoughts overall on the Wyatt family, their future direction? Go ahead.
Alright, sorry, I just yawned for a second from listening to you. No, I'm joking, no, you went good. You touched on some good things there. I think that at this point, you mentioned how you see, basically, in the future, only Luke Harper winning. I mean, it depends. I mean, if the Wyatts can get back in the tag team picture, like you mentioned, they haven't had a shot since Battleground in the great 2 out of 3 falls match. Thought it would pick up after that, but it didn't at all. Let's get off the tag team division to just talk about the Wyatts overall. At this point, like you said, it's almost like they got buried last Monday on Raw, as at the time of this taping. And I don't really see it as much being buried. I mean, it was unfortunate, like you said, for them to have to be the ones that are made an example out of, Cena, or the other way around, whatever. I just think that it could have been someone else. It could have been, I mean, I can't really think at this point, but, it was unfortunate that it had to be Wyatt's. I don't see it really being the bearing of Bray Wyatt or nothing. I mean, it just depends. And speaking of, while you're talking, it reminded me of, a past video, our past video, no, it's not our past video, it's my past video, on this channel, titled, Will the Wyatt Family Break Up? At this point, it's still pretty relevant. You can check that out. I mean, there might be some things back there that are, like, in a different, completely rivalry, but check that out, on our YouTube. But, anyway, I mean, if the Wyatts came back in the tag team picture, that would be excellent. I mean, like you said, it's overdue. And looking at the Wyatt family, I mean, they have picked up some great victories since, their fantastic push back when they debuted. I mean, they've really taken on the best, like the Usos. I don't think they've really beaten them. I'm not sure about that, but they've gone against the top tag teams in the WWE, so hopefully they get back in the title picture soon. With Bray Wyatt being in the position he is now, feuding with, I mean, respectably, I have to say, with all due respect, the part-timer, Chris Jericho, I don't really see his career picking up, even though he's facing a legend like Jericho. It's kind of, you look at it, he's facing Jericho, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool, but he's a part-timer now, so you have to look at it and say, where will he go from here? I don't see anything big in the near future. Hopefully he can get back into main eventing. Bray Wyatt, one of my favorites, and hopefully he, like I said, get back in the title picture. But I don't know about that being with Brock Lesnar, but that's for a future video. Let me just say that. Overall, Bray Wyatt, hopefully he can continue to stay in his spot, because he's very lucky to be in a spot looking at the rest of the talent that just suddenly gets buried. Hopefully he can continue to be a mid-carder like he is, which sounds weird, but hopefully he can. I really thought his push would pick up after facing the most popular person in the business at this point, John Cena. But it's unfortunate. He had WrestleMania versus Cena, fantastic build-up and fantastic match for that one, and a couple matches after that with Cena. But since then, nothing up to the caliber of that. I mean, he's facing Jericho at this point. I don't know where we could see them in the future, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully Wyatt can be main eventing soon, maybe after this Brock Lesnar reign's over, maybe after, and the Wyatt family, or Eric Rowan and Luke Harper can be in the tag title hunt after this Usos versus Gold and Stardust, not Goldust and Stardust, Gold and Stardust feud is over. But like I said, hopefully they can be back in the title picture overall. And if they split up, you can look at my Will the Wyatt Family breakup video. I basically said, if they did, it would be great on both sides, because Eric Rowan and Luke Harper can suddenly become the faces in the situation, and suddenly there's a whole bunch of possibilities. They can just suddenly kind of wake up and realize, hey, we're under his control. We can kind of do things on our own. That would be an idea. Great storyline. Maybe triple threat match between all of them. That would be awesome. But overall, like I said, I'm not repeating myself anymore. Do you have any further comments on this, Kyle?
Oh, well, yeah, like you touched on the Bray Wyatt versus John Cena feud. Pretty much, a lot of people kept saying Bray Wyatt was feuding with a main eventer in John Cena, but it was kind of, if you look at Bray Wyatt, John Cena, it obviously wasn't the main event feud of what was going on in WWE at the time, because it wasn't over a championship. It was just a feud, so it's not like it was. It's kind of like saying Bray Wyatt was feuding with a main eventer in a mid-card feud, and that may sound weird, but, I mean, when I look at WrestleMania 30, I kind of consider John Cena, Bray Wyatt the main event of WrestleMania 30, but, that probably goes to the triple threat WWE title match, so it's not like Bray Wyatt has actually gotten that main event feud, even though he did feud with John Cena. I mean, I don't even think they got the main event of Payback, and it wasn't a WWE Championship match, but they were, not, that Wyatt Cena wasn't even the main event, but, so it's not like Bray Wyatt hasn't gotten a big feud, he just hasn't gotten a main event feud, I guess. He hasn't even really came close to the championship picture. I don't believe he was in the Elimination Chamber for the championship. They were facing the Shield. I think really the only championship match he got was that Money in the Bank and the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah. And
he really wasn't even considered the top guy in that match. It's not like he was really feuding with anybody at the time, so it's like, he was just kind of a filler in that match. But now he's feuding with Jericho. I guess it's just to give him a little bit, but and I don't really consider him on my radar when it comes to future feuds with Lesnar. But I mean, really, when I look at my list of who I think Lesnar's going to feud with, or Cena for that situation, for this purpose, I don't see Bray Wyatt being in the championship feud soon. I mean, in 3-4 months maybe. But the thing is, I don't know. I just don't know if I consider Bray Wyatt as an individual. Getting off of the whole Wyatt family. I just don't know if I consider Bray Wyatt a future champion, WWE champion. I just don't see it. I think that Luke Harper will be WWE champion before Bray Wyatt, and that's saying a lot. I just don't know if, I just don't think Bray Wyatt's that good of a wrestler. I love the gimmick, I love the personality, but I just feel like he's not that good of a wrestler, and I can't tell you the last time he's actually impressed me in the ring. It was probably WrestleMania the last time I thought Bray Wyatt legitimately had a good pay-per-view match, or a great pay-per-view match, rather. Great being really, really good, really, really great. Good being, just decent. WrestleMania, that was a great match. It told a great story. Extreme Rules, it just wasn't that good. Wasn't that great, wasn't that good against Cena. It was that stupid steel cage match in which the Wyatt family kept getting involved. And then Payback was a decent last man standing match. It just wasn't great. And then, neither match against Jericho, I can say, was one of Jericho. It was nowhere near one of Jericho's best. And Jericho, that's because Jericho's had so many matches, but it was also nowhere near Wyatt's best. And it's not like Wyatt had that many matches to compete against. So, I don't think that. I'd say the last time he had a really, really great match was WrestleMania, but I just don't feel like Bray Wyatt is ever going to be that top guy, and I want him to be. WWE wanted him to be, but I just don't see it at this point. Maybe his brother could be the top guy. I don't know.
But I mean, I have to completely disagree with you when it comes to two things. One of them being Luke Harper being a champion, WWE champion before Bray Wyatt. Really? I don't know. That's an interesting thought. But I don't. That's total bogus right there. And the other thing I disagreed on was you saying that Bray Wyatt's not good in the ring and that he doesn't impress you. But I see what you're saying, though. I mean, when I think about Bray Wyatt, I don't necessarily think about his in-ring ability. I think about his gimmick, because he has one of the best gimmicks in the business, if not the best, most original. But his in-ring ability, I think it's not that bad for someone being his kind of size. Now, sure, yes, he used to be Husky Harris. Sure, he used to be a lot bigger, but, I mean, he's still considered... I mean, I'm not calling him fat. I'm saying, like, as far as his size. Like, I mean, he's kind of big, admittedly. But, for his size, he's pretty good. Like, I mean, usually big guys are just, like, running into people and they just... It's like a belly flop and they just fall down. Like, I mean, he's not like that. I think that, especially with the crab walk, I mean, that is just awesome for his size. I can't even do that. Great athletic ability there. I mean, overall, his in-ring stuff, I mean, when I see Bray Wyatt being on a card, I mean, I'm hooked. I mean, I want to see it. I think his in-ring ability is better than what you think, apparently, but respect your opinion a little bit, because, I mean, I think that his gimmick's way better than his in-ring ability, but at the same time, his in-ring ability is pretty good. But, hey, everybody has their different opinions, and comment, because it's our opinions, your feedback. What are your thoughts on that? Anyway, so were those your final thoughts on that? Is there anything else we can touch on that? Or?
Wasn't saying that Bray Wyatt was specifically a terrible wrestler. He just,
yeah.
I think that I don't want to say he's overrated. I just feel like people would think he's a phenomenal wrestler, and I don't consider him like one of the best in the company. Like I don't consider him nowhere near like Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, them kind of guys. But then you said about his size, it's interesting, Bray Wyatt's size. He doesn't have the same physique or size of Randy Orton, he doesn't look like Randy Orton. He doesn't look like CM Punk. He doesn't look like Daniel Bryan. It's not like, he's kind of like one of those muscly strong guys. Not like he's not like ripped or nothing. Like when you think of Bray Wyatt, you don't think of abs and big muscles or something. He's just one of those like kind of fat, strong guys. I don't really know how to say it. He's like a thick guy who's strong. He's a big guy. So that's what really Bray Wyatt sells upon. And he has speed. That's something that he does have. He can run around. I've seen him run around. He does that nutty crab walk, and I like when he's like on the turnbuckle and he like bends over, and it's all creepy, crazy. But he is decent in the ring. But I just don't consider him one of the top in the company. But now moving on, how about we talk about Bray Wyatt's outside of TV, outside of WWE, his actual brother, Bo Dallas. Apparently Bo Dallas does not believe in the Wyatt family, so what are your thoughts on Bo Dallas?
Well, I dubbed at the beginning of it, I said that this would be like an argument, kind of like our Paul Heyman argument, which you can check out, but it's not going to be as good. I'm sorry, but our Paul Heyman argument was pretty good. I don't think we'll have as many offensive jokes towards Bo Dallas here, but overall, I think I'm playing the heel role once again when it comes to defending the heel. in our argument. Because I mean, this isn't a joke or anything. I mean, I honestly think that Bo Dallas is one of the. I mean, I don't want to say one of the best talents, but I mean, compared to what your opinion is, because I've heard your opinion outside of our videos. You talked about Bo Dallas for so long, so I decided to do this video. But he's not one of the best talents as far as in-ring ability. I mean, I feel like we're doing the Wyatt thing, but no. As far as in-ring ability goes, Bo Dallas is pretty good. I like his overall moveset. I like how he is kind of a high flyer. Not much of a high flyer, but like, I mean, one of those kind of light heavyweights that, I don't know, can kind of... Is he a light heavyweight? I would just say heavyweight. Heavyweights that can really just do more, like, simple wrestling moves that are effective, like body slams, all that stuff. He does all that stuff, and has a little bit of high flying. I like that. I like wrestlers that are kind of like that. Overall, I like the running Bodog. That's kind of unique. I've never really seen that personally. Something like that. But overall, pretty good in-ring ability. But I know pretty good isn't that good. It's not great, but I know it differs from yours. And looking at his gimmick is amazing. It is just absolutely fantastic. I have loved it since I saw his debut on SmackDown, and that SmackDown was the first SmackDown I saw in years. That's how pumped I was to see the debut of Bo Dallas, because I didn't even really know his gimmick before then. But overall, the Bo Dallas Believe gimmick, putting his hands up, doing the sideways thumb thing, I think that's just hilarious. And the victory lap, especially when he ran into El Torito, that was just hilarious. But of course he's not on a winning streak anymore like he was. But overall, and the best thing about his gimmick, which many people probably do not know, is that he's actually credited, apparently the one who came up with the gimmick himself. And that is kind of rare in the business, wrestling business, because usually it's people... What's going on there? Usually it's people who come from the indies that suddenly come to the WWE and come up and like have their gimmicks before then in the indies, and then Vince McMahon usually changes it. But in this case, Bo Dallas came up with his own gimmick, and being that good, that is just amazing. His best part is his gimmick, once again, like his brother Bray Wyatt, but still, I think he has some pretty good in-ring ability. And deja vu to the beginning of the video. Alright, I've been talking for a while. I'll hand it over to you, Kyle. What are your thoughts on the BOLIEVER Bo Dallas?
I'm not gonna come here and completely disagree with you and say that I'm not I hate Bo Dallas or whatever, because I don't hate him. It's just that I never consider Bo Dallas one of my top faves or whatever. I don't consider him a future star in the company, but I feel like his gimmick is something different, and it's not the traditional heel, like a Randy Orton. It's not the traditional face like John Cena. It's a gimmick. Well, I think what you told me before, that he's a heel that believes he's a face or something. But
that's basically...
I don't even know what he is. I mean, he's showed some heel stuff, but I don't know. I mean, he's faced bad guys. He's faced like heels before. I remember he had like 3 matches with Titus O'Neil, and he like kept telling him to believe. Like, O'Neil was like a heel then, and he's had like all these matches with R-Truth and stuff. But nonetheless, I am not gonna go out and say I hate Bo Dallas or whatever. But I'm also not gonna say I love Bo Dallas. I'm like just very, very indifferent. I feel like he's a fine part of the roster. Like, he certainly has the ability to be part of the main roster, because I mean, he's a good wrestler. I do like the running bulldog, so it's a Bodog. It's a good move. I mean, it's pretty interesting to do. He does mess it up sometimes, so maybe he needs to work on that. But really before his debut on SmackDown. It was. I didn't really know much about Dallas. I knew that he was a like the NXT champion for a while, and I don't even think he had the Believe that gimmick when he first started as Bo Dallas. I think he was like just like a. I think he was a face for a while. I don't remember, but I do like Bo Dallas. I feel like I do like him a little bit, I guess. I just don't love him. I just don't feel like he's the guy ever gonna be the guy. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like a championship could be in his future. Maybe an intercontinental title, United States title, something. Maybe he could form a tag team or something. I don't know. I just feel like he's a funny guy. I love when he comes out and JBL gets all excited.
Yeah, that's the best part.
And I don't know, I like how he puts his arms up and stuff, like right when he comes down and be like, yeah, I'm here. And the victory lap's pretty cool too. I guess he has some pretty cool stuff to him. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely disagree with you when you say his gimmick's like the best or whatever, or like that it's one of the best. I just don't feel like the gimmick is something that, I don't know, it's must watch. I don't know, I just don't feel like it's the greatest gimmick in the world, but I feel like it's something new and something different, and maybe that's what WWE needs. Because I mean, I'm welcome to new talent. I'm welcome to, you know, Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, all these new guys. It's gonna be pretty cool. So I don't know. We'll see what Bo Dallas has in store. See if he ever gets a push. See what happens. Because he hasn't really had a main feud yet, with the exception of what's going on now, Jack Swagger. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens. And I think this is his actual first feud because like he feuded with R-Truth, I guess. They call it a mini feud. I don't think he's had a pay-per-view match yet. I don't think he's wrestled at a pay-per-view, so.
He faced Kingston a couple pay-per-views ago when it was like announced at the pre-show or something, and then King came out or something like that a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's had like one other than that. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so I mean, his only pay-per-view match, or probably his only pay-per-view match in history, I guess, would be last year's Royal Rumble, I believe he was in.
Yeah, he actually was. I remember that.
Yeah, and he didn't even have like the Bo Leave gimmick yet. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Bo. I hope that hopefully that he gets that pay-per-view match, gets to prove himself, and maybe this Jack Swagger feud will just put him over as a new star. You know, poor Jack Swagger, but that's pretty much Swagger's role now. But like I said, definitely interesting gimmick, and interested to see what happens with Bo in the near future. Let's watch and wait.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we might see him as an Intercontinental Champion. We might see him in the United States. I don't know. This sounds really weird how I'm on Bo Dallas' side, but yet I don't see him winning a championship. It's and you probably disagree, but it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. I would love to see him on a United States Intercontinental reign, but at this point, he's not even making the pay-per-view cards. And sure, the United States Championship and the Intercontinental are known as the minor championships. Excuse me, but I mean, he has to prove himself. Like you said, it would be great if he could win a championship, prove himself. But overall, I mean, I'm just taking his side, just like I took Paul Heyman's side, always will, in our other argument. But overall, his gimmick, his in-ring ability, I think is, when you combine them, is pretty good, especially because of the gimmick. I mean, gimmicks usually take over in-ring ability, like you see with Bray Wyatt. We touched on that a little bit ago. I mean, usually just the gimmicks are the ones that you think of before the actual in-ring ability. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an example. There aren't too many that are like that. I mean, well, there are, but I don't know. There are many, but to choose from. But overall, Bo Dallas, I think at this point, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but I don't see him being on the roster for too much longer. I don't know. I see him being on the roster, but possibly going back to NXT or something like that. I don't know. I mean, he just needs to be in a spot where he can be on matches regularly and really show himself some more. But I don't know. I like what he's doing currently at this time. He's with bothering Jack Swagger every week, and telling him to believe. And I just think he has one of the better gimmicks in WWE at this point, especially because of his originality. He came up with it. JBL is a big factor in his gimmick as well. I mean, JBL, you cannot go wrong when you're being praised by JBL. But I just love it when he comes out and JBL's like, that man's an inspiration, Michael. But overall, Bo Dallas, I like. I mean, this was an underwhelming argument. At the beginning, I said this would be pretty good, but not as good as our Heyman. But overall, I mean, it's a mini argument. That's why it wasn't a video itself. But of course, check out our Heyman. But overall, I don't know. I like it. Do you have any further comments?
I mean, no, not really. Pretty much covered it. I mean, I just really am so indifferent about Bo Dallas. I just don't know what he can do in the company. I just don't know. I just don't see him as a champion. It's kind of like how you said it, but I don't know. I don't want him to be a failed run in WWE. I definitely never want him to be repackaged or whatever, because it's just not right. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime gimmick. You know, it's a gimmick that, you know, can never be done by somebody else.
Yeah.
I think he does it so well, and it's like, why would you ever want to drop a gimmick like this? You know, I mean, it's not like it's a gimmick like Husky Harris had, or like, you know, whoever has like a generic gimmick. So, I don't know. I mean, we could see Bo Dallas being a good feud. I mean, we're looking at the Swagger stuff. It's going to be interesting there, and I could see Bo Dallas potentially go have a good feud with Dean Ambrose or something. You know, that's just a name. You know, there's a couple others, which it's just like when you think of Bo Dallas as a main eventer ever. I mean, do you ever think of Bo Dallas versus Brock Lesnar, Bo Dallas versus John Cena? It's just, he's just not at that level yet. So we'll see if he ever does get to that level. I definitely can see it in the future, but right now, just stick to the lower mid card. I guess that's what you consider him right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of consider him like, you got like down here is like the low card, then you got the mid card at the middle, then you got the main card. I guess kind of like right in the middle of the low card and mid card. It's not like he's a mid card act. I mean, because if you can look at it, the mid card is right now, like we said earlier, is Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho. I mean, he's obviously not at that level yet, considering he hasn't had a pay-per-view match. So I guess Bo Dallas is kind of in the middle of it. Maybe he could win the Royal Rumble. I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm definitely not the biggest Bo Dallas fan, but I'm not going to say I hate the guy. Be excited to see what happens with him in the near future. So, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, they both kind of are on the same page a little bit when it comes to understanding that his gimmick's all right, and his in-ring ability could be a little better. But once again, it's an underwhelming argument. But I mean, we had some differences there. But I mean, that's pretty much the video. I mean, we both covered everything with both topics we had for you today. Thank you all for watching. And of course, comment and let us know what you think about either topic. Love to hear from you. I mean, I'll always personally, I will reply to you no matter what you say. Well, don't take my word for it, because then, but I'm not going to get to it, but anyway, I will most likely reply to you. Let us know what you think, because it's our opinions, your feedback, and like the video if you liked it, and like it if you hated it, because why not? And of course, subscribe, because, yeah, because we have topics coming up soon. We're going to be trying to, I mean, we haven't had videos in a long time, which we apologize for. Well, at least I do. No, but we apologize for. And we're trying to make some more videos here and see what we can do. But subscribe for more, because we'll have more awesome topics like this. And whoa. And of course, follow me on Twitter at Almost Wrestling. the Almost Expert Wrestling Twitter at Almost Wrestling, because I do Raw tweeting. I did SmackDown tweeting for the first time in a while. Main event, if I feel like it, and all pay-per-views, all Raws, definitely, pretty much guaranteed, unless further news. And basically, it's most of the time probably jokes. We saw that last Monday when I noticed how Goldust is now gold. I think Kyle here got a kick out of that, but overall, go to our website, almostexpertwrestling.weebly.com. I have not updated that in a while, but just go to it. Why not? Check out our videos there. And Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong. You have a Twitter as well, right?
Yeah, my Twitter's still around, at Kyle Smith WWE. Check it out if you want. I don't give a fuck if you tweet me or not, but just follow me. You don't have to tweet me or nothing. I don't answer, but yeah, I do my Raw tweeting sometimes, SmackDown, all this stuff Joe does. I don't know. I'll tweet like randomly, like I'll be like on Twitter and I'll be like, something cool happening. I'll be like, all right, let me just use the hashtag and stuff. You know, I don't really make jokes unless it's about Kane, but I don't know. I'm on there sometimes. I don't know. Just check me out at Kyle Smith WWE. I get pretty excited on Twitter sometimes, and like Joe said about future videos, please check out all of our past videos as well. We have a ton of content, and it's just going to keep growing. You know, our goal is to get at least 999 videos by the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what we want. 999. So be sure to check out the YouTube page that we're on right now, on this Extra Wrestling, and Joe didn't say it, but you can subscribe for a low price of $0.00. So there you go. Twitter, once again, for the third time, at Kyle Smith WWE. The YouTube page here, and Joe, don't forget to mention our website too. Go ahead.
Yeah, and all those things are in the description below, as always. And once again, of course, hit that, that weird button right down here. It says subscribe. Just click on it. Go ahead. And of course, the like button. It's easy. Just do it. We're begging you. It's all $0.00 forever. That's the forever fee. $0.00 forever. Almost Expert Wrestling. Then, now, forever. But anyway, thank you all for watching. We've been talking for a while. And until next time.